2024 brought us 271 patients of 71 different species. We made 131 releases throughout the year, and at the end of 2024, we have 179 birds in care. All but 5 of those are parrots. Although we work with all species of birds found in Belize, our expertise is the rehabilitation for release of parrots liberated from the illegal pet trade. This year, 96 new parrots joined our rehab program. Releasing parrots that have been raised as a pet is notoriously difficult, and some of the more habituated birds, or those with clipped or poorly conditioned feathers, can take years before they're fit enough to consider release. We have 112 parrots undergoing rehab for release and another 58 in permanent sanctuary. Those permanent sanctuary parrots are physically or psychologically impaired and unable to survive in the wild, so they live in pairs or flocks in outdoor aviaries with as natural an environment as we can possibly provide for them. Of the parrot intakes this year, 10 were confiscated, 23 surrendered, 16 were pets that had escaped from their cage, 8 were orphaned fledglings, and 15 were the at-risk yellow-headed Amazon chicks that we extracted from nests. 26 of the parrots came in with sickness or injuries that required attention, and in total, 68 of the 96 intakes were baby parrots in need of some degree of hand rearing during the April to June peak season, which certainly kept us busy. We helped 29 raptors this year, including a laughing falcon, black vulture, grey-headed kite, and several barn owls and picnic owls. We made 20 raptor releases in the year, and we still have 4 who are recovering from various issues currently preventing their release. We saw 41 waterbirds, which included several new species for us, a white-necked puffbird, a uniform crake, 2 soarers, and an American or Caribbean flamingo, which sadly didn't make it, but it was so unusual a species for Belize that it caused quite a stir amongst the birding community. We had a bumper flock of araucaries as well. All but 1 were fledglings with failure to launch. This seems to be quite common in the toucan family, and usually all they need is a few extra weeks to gain body strength and weight. Unfortunately, by then their family is long gone, but they readily form a new flock, and we soft release them at BBR to ensure that they get the best possible start. This year, we were really fortunate to have funding to purchase a field vehicle and to employ a team to go into the yellow-headed parrot territory during nesting season to conduct a nationwide population assessment. The team were incredible, battling first fires and droughts and then floods and muds. But they got through it, and they completed the surveys of the 200-plus transects through central and southern Belize. They also found time to take on some outreach and awareness and assisted with nest monitoring and protection efforts too. They were on hand to assist the tide rangers of Paynes Creek National Park with the onward transport to BBR of 13 yellow-headed Amazon chicks extracted from the nest to prevent poaching, predation, or death through overcrowding. This is our 10th year working with Tide with those ex situ hand rearing, and to date we have returned 147 endangered fledglings back into the wild, and we have 16 more fledglings to release in early 2025. I want to thank all of those involved in the nationwide population assessment project, which includes Tide, Programme for Belize, Belize Bird Conservancy, Belize Forest Department, Belize Zoo, Monkey Bay Wildlife Sanctuary, CRC, and also BatSub for rescuing our truck from the horrendous mud of the coastal road. And of course, thank you to our amazing field team, Jen, Nico, Gilroy, and David. We certainly couldn't have done any of it without you guys. We keep all our patient records on the wonderful Wormed database, which enables us to keep track of where and how patients come to us. Our biggest group of rescuers by far are members of the public, who alerted us to 62% of the rescues this year. Next is the category of other organizations, bringing us 18% of our calls. We're incredibly lucky to have an active network of many conservation NGOs and nonprofits in Belize, all working to save our precious natural resources and wildlife. Our enclosure construction slowed down this year, partly because we were focusing our resources on the yellow-headed project, but partly because we bid farewell to Jose, who has been building enclosures for BBR for more than 11 years now. He's currently enjoying his well-earned retirement, but not before giving us 3 last projects, 2 more parrot aviaries and a pond room for our waterbird enclosure. Thank you so much to Jose for his patience and skill over the years, and we wish him a long and happy retirement. Oscar and Orlando continue to do incredible work with the birds, making sure they're clean, fed, healthy, and enjoying as much enrichment as possible. We've had Valeska volunteering on and off throughout the year, and also welcomed Raimundo for a few weeks over the Christmas break too. I wanted to thank Dr. Sophie for giving her valuable time to us again this year. She arrived in time to help with the baby parrots, as did Dr. Knoll and Charisse, who were thrown in the deep end on their short trip to Belize. And finally, I want to send our heartfelt thanks to you, our donors, supporters, and sponsors for everything you've done for us throughout the year. You've been incredibly generous with monetary donations, especially towards the end of the year during our giving season campaign. We receive monthly donations of much-needed wish list items and gifts of local food and supplies. We've had invaluable support for the Yellow-Headed Project from project donors, without which we wouldn't have had the vehicle, the fuel, equipment, or field team stipends to carry out the research and nest protection this year. We really have been blessed, and it seems like those blessings will continue well into the new year, thanks to your help. It remains for us to wish you and yours a very healthy, happy, and prosperous 2025, and thank you for helping us to help them to fly free.